Kirsten Liebelt here. Come on in, grab your coffee, grab your tea. Every Monday through Friday, we go live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we talk about insulin resistance. So if you don't know who I am or anything about me, which is highly likely, my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I'm in Minnesota. I'm born and raised, spent about 8 years out in the Black Hills of South Dakota. That was amazing. That was back in the 90s, though. 3 adult children, 3 adorable grandchildren. I'm a Nona. We homeschooled for 20 years. I'm Italian. My dad was 100% Italian. My mom, 100% Swedish. And so my dad used to always call us his little swagos, which I thought was funny. I never knew that there was anything derogatory about that. I mean, why would I know that as a kid? But he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes right around the time that I was born. So he was like 35-ish when I was born, and he was diagnosed. And then he spent his life basically kind of not feeling good. And then he was gone at 63. So my whole life was all about like so much Italian like mindset around food, and my dad injecting insulin in his belly, you know, all the hypodermic needles and stuff. Come on in. Let me know if you're on the replay, by the way, too. That was just my universe. But there was so much obesity and type 2 diabetes in my Italian family. Like, there was a lot. I mean, it was just like you just assumed, right? My grandpa, who came over from Italy, he was blind and in a wheelchair. So my memory of him was him crying because he was blind and he couldn't see. And then he died when I was like 9. So this was like kind of a little bit of a traditional generational thing. So I was really, really believing that this was just genetic and that's all you could do about it. And then I was gestational diabetic when I was 22 years old. And I just kind of lived my life and went, que sera, sera. I mean, it'll just be whatever it's going to be. And I didn't have any other thought process other than that, which is really kind of like a little silly. But now I get to talk to you about it and bring you into my brain. Welcome. And help people to understand that no. The people that I listened to, the people that I have followed, they told me that this was 100% reversible. And so when I was a 2X in size and I hit my 50s and I went like bam right into my 50s, hot mess express, all of my hormones upside down, I started to pay attention to people like Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Eric Berg and Maria Emmerich and all of these people that said, no, this is reversible. And I'm like, okay, well, right now I'm currently living in total fear over where my body is at because I'm a 2X. I'm like questioning if I'm peeing too much, if I'm thirsty too much, if my sores are healing, just like my dad. And I had this amazing mom who was like, get your butt to the doctor. What's wrong with you? So, but I was too scared. I was very much of a coward because I was such a sugar addict. I had every sign of insulin resistance, I think, known to mankind. I mean, that's how it felt anyway. And I was just too afraid. So I instead started to supplement. I always end my live explaining to you what I did so that if you want to follow that, you can. But I started with supplementation and then I traded out my foods and I was a little slow. Because I really thought that I would never trade out my foods because I'm Italian. And it was so ingrained in us that you just ate food all the time for everything. Everything was a celebration, you know, you eat, come on. And that's what my life was. So I'm like, I have no idea how I will ever break sugar addiction. I have no idea how I will ever not eat white flour. I have no idea how I will never not just think that if you go to a buffet or you go to a potluck in the basement of the church, you know, that's me. You know, I was raised Lutheran and then non-denominational. But we had, as we were older, my husband was raised Baptist, but everybody had potlucks, right? Everybody had, you know, pot blessings or whatever. And I just was always convinced that if I stepped up to a buffet or a potluck, I just loved all the food. I just love it all. That's not true. It's not even remotely true. But I just lived with that preconceived notion that I just loved everything. And I had to actually dissect. And I was a little bit in my 50s when I was doing this. So there's hope. There's so much hope for you. You have no idea. Let hope arise. But today, very specifically, I want to talk to you about your brain and how actually that is helping you to keep your insulin high and you don't even know it. And the reason why I like talking about these pieces is because I am 100% convinced, 150% convinced. This is why when people take a different step, like they start adding in supplementation or whatever, it pushes them over the edge to get results because you're forcing the envelope on your brain. You're forcing the envelope on your body. You're saying, excuse me, you need to produce now. You need to deliver me some different results here. And you're just pushing on it. And that's why all of a sudden things start to work. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just needed that nudge. I needed that like push me out of the nest type of a thing internally. So let me see who's on here because I know people are talking to me. Happy Wednesday, Jan. Good to see you, Patty. Good morning, sweet lady. Magda, good morning, buddy. I love that. Sue, hello. Marla, good morning. It's been a few days. I'm so glad you are back. You know, yesterday we were having some technical difficulties. And so if you need to go someplace to see the replays that actually did work out, the one on the tube, that one is there. I just put it into the group. Somebody said, the Facebook one you just shared only is 9 minutes long. And I'm like, shoot, yeah, it didn't record properly. But you can go to the tube and the replays are there. We stream there every day that we stream here. It's a good backup place for my universe. Yesterday would have been my daughter Jen's 41st birthday. The family gathered tonight, celebrated with pizza and salad and dinner. You gave yourself permission to enjoy the dinner that I haven't eaten in 8 months and enjoy your family. I love that, Patty. You know, that's so interesting, right? Like that is, again, if people don't know, Patty has had some really, really good results. She's been using the Total Body Reset and trading out her foods. So for 8 months. So Patty, what is your update? Is your update still 14 pounds, 10 inches? Is that what we're doing, right? And then you also had another result. What was your result? Just let me know in the comments if you would, Patty, because you know what? This is the deal. So when I first started doing paying attention to my holiday season, and I was like, oh, I gotta, I want to do my holidays better, blah, blah, blah. And it was only me. It was only in my head. I didn't tell people any of this. And this was quite a few years ago now. I mean, like maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there where I was really focused on I'm going to trade my holidays. It took me a few years. So don't require perfection. Require progress. Consistency will crush every now and then. It will crush. So here she just was saying that she had a very important and special day for her family to remember her daughter who would have been 41. And so they had a pizza night and she did that. But her results have been 16 pounds. That's awesome. Good morning, Joan. She calls me Coach Kirsten. Good morning, Joan. Good morning, Terry. Shirley girl. Good morning, friend. Good to see you. Patricia, I'm happy to see you too. So very, very good. So Patty has been working on this for a while. And so she just gave herself permission. And you know what? I do the same thing, but we do it without shame. We move on, right? We do it without shame. And we move on. Okay. So let's get into this topic because I feel like this is going to help maybe just to get you to understand why pushing that envelope a little bit harder when it comes to supplementation will help you, but also to really pay attention to your thoughts, especially right now where we've got a few months for the holiday season. Okay. And, I have one customer who she didn't even know that she was type 2 until she had a stroke and her A1C was a 13. And so for 3 years, she worked with her doctor. 3 years. She got her A1C down, but she couldn't budge 1 pound. And she was on Met. And she then got on berberine and inositol, and which I'm saying those are great, right? But for whatever reason, her body needed, and remember when I talk about the trio, the 3 sups that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, that's where I started, by the way. And It's a very good place to start. And the minute she did that, it pushed her envelope over the edge. So let's talk about how your brain can help push your envelope over the edge. But it pushed it so that her morning sugars came down like 30 points and she dropped 14 pounds. So there are things in your world that I want to bring to you where you could just go right over the edge, and then all of a sudden the results start to show up, and it shifts things for you, shifts things. Wow. Where's my tongue today, people? Okay, so your body can't burn fat when your brain thinks that you're in danger. And this is just super interesting, you guys. You have to track for just a minute, because your body is so fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is designed to heal itself. Your body is designed to function, and it fights for function. It fights and fights and fights to function, right? And sometimes we don't give it what it needs. You know how that goes. But everybody talks about insulin, lowering your insulin through food, which we talk about all the time. Did we just do this yesterday? Was it yesterday that was a food day, or 2 days ago? And we talked all about how if you stop eating food that spikes your sugars and calls on insulin, or if you stop eating every 2 hours, you'll not call on insulin every 2 hours, right? So we talk about that all the time, but nobody, I never knew, and nobody told me that your thoughts can keep your insulin high. Your thoughts, isn't that crazy? So your brain runs your hormones. That's why this is true. Your brain runs your hormones. And if it thinks that you are unsafe, it'll send out a signal that literally blocks fat loss, literally blocks it, even if you're eating perfectly. And so sometimes you're like, man, I'm stalled out. Man, I can't seem to go any further. I can't, whatever it is. And that's why, one of the reasons why that might be true. And insulin is a hormone, and cortisol is a hormone, and GLP-1 is a hormone, and leptin and ghrelin. You've got all these hormones trying to work inside of your body to tell you when you're full, to tell you when you're hungry, to tell you that you need to simmer down on the stress, to tell you to regulate your blood sugar, to tell you how to sleep. It's all about hormones. And people are not having this conversation in that way. So when you and I change the lens as to how we're viewing our weight loss, as how we're dealing with our life and getting better, I lost 3 sizes in my 50s because I dealt with my weight through the lens of insulin resistance. It didn't happen overnight, but when you understand in your brain that when your insulin is high, you can't burn fat, all of a sudden you're like, okay, so what else keeps my insulin high? I'm super interested in this conversation, because you want to be able to start burning fat, right? So your brain runs your hormones, and if it thinks you're unsafe, it sends out a signal that literally blocks fat loss. If you've ever said, I'm doing everything right, but nothing is changing, what's wrong with me? You are probably not crazy or broken. You're not crazy or broken. You are just wired for survival. Your body is wired for survival. And your brain is keeping you there, holding insulin high, because it doesn't yet believe you're safe enough to burn fat. I know it's a little woo-woo or crazy, but I'm telling you, your body is it's like this computer, and you have to get the right chip in the right place sometimes. And it might be just one little tweak that you need to make, right? So your brain decides whether or not you thrive or survive. This is how that goes. So in thrive mode, you're thriving, everything's great, everything's flowing, your insulin drops, your fat burning goes up. Woohoo! Insulin drops, fat burning goes up. In survival mode, your cortisol and your insulin go up. Your cortisol and your insulin go up. Your body starts storing energy instead of releasing it. Storing. What does that look like? Fat, belly fat. Okay. So constant alertness, even mental, equals chronic cortisol and constant insulin. So if you're always whatever. And I did not realize, even for myself, because I'm always in assessment mode, I did not realize I really do need to be more mindful because I run higher cortisol. And I didn't realize that. But I think it's just because I'm kind of like a go person a little bit, and I need to like simmer down, take a break, like chill out. And sometimes I don't know how to chill out very well. I'm sure you guys are the same way. I'm sure that this is like normal, right? But it's our society, and it's a hustle culture, and it's a busyness, and we have phones that are giving us dopamine hits, and it's just a constant stream of news and information and calendar things. We always have something on our calendar, and we don't necessarily know how to focus all the time, and etc. Right? So your body can't tell the difference between, listen to this one, your body cannot tell the difference between a blood sugar spike, a deadline, a stressful conversation, how we doing, or your own negative self-talk. How you doing with your own negative self-talk? Your brain reacts the same way. It just dumps sugar into your blood and says, let's protect her. Okay? So your brain can't tell the difference between a blood sugar spike, a deadline, a stressful conversation, or your own negative self-talk. It dumps sugar into your blood and it says, let's protect her. Isn't that crazy, you guys? All right, who's talking to me? Oh, Calgary, Gail. So nice to see you, my Canadian friends. Luana, good morning. Good to see you. And then who else? Somebody else said something. Oh, where did my thing go? Well, there was another comment. So you might have deleted it, which is totally fine. Or, oh, nope, here. Is it showing up now? There we go. Patty, so weird. Technology, people. Marilyn says, wow, never knew this. The brain controls so much then. It does, Marilyn. I know. This is why it's so important. I'll give you guys some like resources here. Patty says, I'm totally back on track today. Took my carb blocker, and also I take the Slimetry along with the glucose health supplements. Yep, good job. Good morning, Jody. Good to see you. Oh, the sunshine today is like magnanimous. Oh my gosh, I got to get out. You are such a good walker. Every single day she walks a mile. I'm like, I got to get out today and walk because, oh my goodness, it's beautiful in Minnesota. Sioux Falls, Melinda. So nice to meet you. I lived in Sioux Falls for about 8 months when I was very first married 38 years ago. 8 or 9 months we lived out there because my husband is in radio. And so he was in radio in Sioux Falls a long time ago. But anyway, so good. I'm glad to hear that, Patty. And you know what? That's a testament to people. Listen, Alonia says this conversation is so important. Stress is such a silent killer. It is. And you guys, you know what? I got a couple of things in my brain here that I'll share about it. But, it's really important for you to share that, Patty, because this is the deal. So if we are super like religious about everything all the time and everything has to be perfect and we can never make a mistake and we can never, go off of plan. We can never whatever. It just makes for a world of possible self-sabotage. And so we just have to be really careful with that. But we also have to stop believing the old us, the old habits that created us where, oh man, like let's pretend you say this to yourself. Oh man, I just, the minute I mess up, that there goes my whole day. I'm just going to binge the rest of the day. Or, oh man, it might take me weeks to get back on track. It might take me I just, one mess up and I'm just done for months, whatever it is that you say to yourself or whatever it is that you're believing about yourself. That doesn't have to be true. Did you know you can do exactly what Patty did? Did you know that you could do that your old self is one set of habits and now your new self is a different set of habits? And when you actually have insulin and sugar more in control, you don't dive off the cliff. Your body doesn't dive off the cliff. Your brain doesn't dive off the cliff the same way anymore. There are biological conversations to have around that. So last night she had her moment. She celebrated her daughter. And now today she's right back on track. Did you know that can be your life? It's my life. But we get so afraid. We think that something's going to because that was our old self. That was my old self anyway. Oh, well, forget it. I mean, you almost set yourself up to mess up so that you can just take the entire day and just go off course, right? That's a whole mental thing, right? Or you just take a whole season. This is why I'm pounding this so hard right now. Listen, you don't have to have your whole holiday season messed up. It doesn't have to be every day, all day. It can be a moment here and a moment there. And listen to what she said. I took my carb blocker. I took glucose health. I took my Slimetry. I did my supplementation with it. Do I even have mine by me? Right here. Oh, never mind. Now I dropped it. But I have my little Dollar Tree. Can I get it? I might be able to get it. Hold on just a second. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. All right. So she had her stuff. She was prepared. She was ready to be able to have her body still functioning in the midst of something that was considered probably a little bit of a harder day. So what? Right back on track, baby. Right back on track. It doesn't have to take you out for the entire season. So important. It's crazy. Yeah. So Shirley says that I'm taking everything you suggest to keep my anxiety down, but my husband has high anxiety. This is such a good point, right? That I can't control, and that does affect me. So what else can I do? That's a really good question. Let me answer that here in just a second, Shirley. Joan says, hooray, Patty, cheering you on. Marla says, I remind myself constantly that even God doesn't expect perfection. He just expects our best. Yes. Okay. So Shirley, and that's a really good point. So, okay, let's go back to now the brain, right? Because this is what we're talking about. The brain is what is governing, it's helping to manage your hormones, and cortisol is a hormone, insulin is a hormone. And we don't want, bad self-talk, negative thinking, things like that to keep our insulin high. Because if you are constantly, let's say, ruminating on, so where I'll get you a couple resources. If you are ruminating on negative scenarios, let's say you have a fear of something and you constantly think about that fear and you play it out in your mind, that's affecting your body. You have to stop that scenario in your brain. You have to find a way. There is a book out there that says what to say when I talk to myself. I don't know if I can pull it up on my phone or not. What to say when I talk to myself. I should put it on my website to resource you guys with it. It's by Shad Helmstetter. And I don't know if anybody has found that book before. I've mentioned it before. I don't know if anybody has found that before. So here, hold on. What to say when I talk to myself. I'm going to show it to you. What to say when you talk to yourself. When you talk to yourself. This is what it looks like. You can take a screenshot if you want. What to say when you talk to yourself by Shad Helmstetter. This is a very, very good book. Okay, that's the book. So this is basically helping you to be mindful of your thoughts and the things that you are saying to yourself, because you listen to yourself the most. So even in Shirley's conversation of, listen, I am dealing with my own anxiety, but my partner's not, my husband's not necessarily. I mean, he may be, but you know what I'm saying? His anxiety is still really high and it affects me. So now you have to take control of your own thoughts. You have to take control of your own reactions to it. So I've had to practice, because I lived in a very, not volatile home. That's wrong. Loud, very, what's the word? You're Italian, so you have a lot going, you talk with your hands and everything is very, blah, blah, whatever. And, my mother, I don't want to go down that road. That's just too deep for today. So I learned how to not be a reactionary person, but I had to teach myself that. I had to teach myself how not to react to every little thing, so that if somebody like drops something next to me now, I can kind of just go, I guess we'll clean it up. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Like, but I had to teach myself how not to allow other people's high emotions and low emotions, or, loud this or whatever, to take me off of my place. But I did it with things like that. The next book that I would recommend to anybody would be this. If you've ever heard of Jenny Potter, have you ever heard of her? She has a book called, and you might think this doesn't maybe go with what we're talking about today, but it does. Hold on. Self-Sabotage No More. She has a really good book, and this is what this looks like. You can take a picture of this also. And start creating your future. So remember when I told you guys like how when I was kind of slow, like in my 50s, slow to get my results and whatever, and it was just me and Jesus inside of my head going through this whole process? It's because number one, I just needed to not have the reactions of other people to what I was eating or not eating, what I was doing or not doing, I just had to I had to shut out the noise. And I feel like that's actually a skill that you can learn. But a part of it is, making sure that, this is the book, making sure that you aren't sabotaging your own efforts too, and using somebody else's universe to affect yours. Okay. And so Jenny Potter, this is a really good book because your body is created to keep you safe. Your subconscious is meant to keep you safe. And you can actually take yourself through releasing, emotions that are kind of bottled up inside of you and get rid of them. You can just get rid of stuff. And it's really important. She's a Christian. Shad Homesteader is a Christian. So these are Christian resources, just to let you know. Geraldine, good to see you. She says, finally here. High energy home. Yes, Carmel. Yes. You're welcome, Shirley. One thing I think that we don't count on in our world, whether or not it's who we marry or who our children marry, we don't count on the fact that other people are going to come into our world and they are going to have their own things. They might be a high reactionary person. They might be somebody who they just, they respond to everything with a lot of energy or whatever, and how that then affects our energy. And I've definitely had to be I dial mine way back and I just control my own reactions to it in the moment. And I try really hard not to let it settle into me. And it's a skill and it's challenging, but it can be done. You probably just need to keep resourcing yourself. The voice inside your head now says, I will be on track tomorrow. And that makes me smile and relax. Isn't that good, Patty? See, there's no anxiety in that then, is there? There's no anxiety. And not only that, but then you get to look forward to every now and then just having, whatever you're going to, let's say somebody invites you out to a really special dinner. We did this last year. This is a really good example. Last year, my husband and I, we took our sons to a very upscale restaurant here in the cities, one that we had never done before. Not something we do. I mean, we haven't been back. So, it was spendy. I'm not even going to tell you how much. But it was really fun. It was an experience and we did it with intention. And, of course I had steak and all the good things, but when they ordered the desserts, it was come on, you have to know that when you go to a place that's really upscale and they have chefs, they have pastry chefs, they make things with the best of ingredients. It's not just, Duncan Hines, everything is the best of the best. And they all ordered these amazing desserts. And I took a bite of every single one. No shame, no issue, right back on track. It did not taste, nothing tasted like it was processed or overly sweet or whatever. It's that combination of they're using the unsalted butter, but it was like the grass-fed butter, whatever it was. Everything was so amazing. And I was like, I'm going to enjoy this experience with my family. Not a day of regret. It doesn't matter. Like, it did not throw me off for a moment because my body wasn't looking for that. It just wasn't. But it was fun, right? So Ontario, hi Barb, good to see you. Good evening. Oh, Elaine, good evening from the UK. Good to see you, Elaine. Very, very good. Okay, so I hope that helps you, Shirley. That's very, very good. That was a very good little segue into this whole conversation about our brain. So remember, we stopped where we said your body can't tell the difference between a blood sugar spike, a deadline, a stressful conversation, or your own negative self-talk. So I resourced you for that. Your brain reacts the same way. All it knows to do is to dump sugar into your blood and protect you. So the subtle stressors, listen up now. I'm going to name a few, and these might resonate with you, okay? The subtle stressors keeping your insulin high, and these are kind of ones that nobody really talks about. And I'm telling you, if you will become somebody who will assess your world right now before, can you feel Thanksgiving coming? Can you feel it coming? I can feel it coming. I can feel the season. It's totally upon us. And I don't mean that in a bad way, just all of a sudden now our schedules are going to get off. Our sleep will be off. The invitations will come. The opportunities, even though they're very exciting and fun, everything's a little off and different, right? So here we go. These are the non-food insulin triggers that surprise people. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, perfectionism. Constantly striving with self-criticism, body judgment. Number 2, mental clutter. I'm telling you, this is one that I work on. Multitasking. I am such a multitasker. It's ridiculous. This is where I have to become more mindful, for sure. Multitasking, overwhelm, too many open loops, too many things that you started that you haven't completed. Number 3, social stress. Social stress. People pleasing, fear of disappointing others. Okay. I know this is hitting you guys because it hits. I know it is. I know it is. Next one, digital chaos, notifications, constant scrolling, micro stress hits all day, just micro little stresses all day long. And I'll tell you, the notifications, I literally have 0 notifications on my phone, except for I have a business app. For our business team, we have an app that we send. That's the only one I have notifications on. And that says a lot because I am obviously on social media a lot. Now, I do check my phone more than the average person, probably by far, because I'm literally running my business off my phone. But I do have to manage that, right? I do have to manage my own, constant, whatever stressors. And I don't always do it well. I don't. I'm working on things all the time, constantly in mode of how can I dump, how can I take off my plate another thing, so that I can have more flow. And then the last one is emotional eating guilt. Even the thought of messing up spikes stress hormones. That's what we were just talking about with Patty. You cannot live with emotional eating guilt. You can't do that. Be intentional. If you already know that somebody is going to make your kryptonite for Thanksgiving, get yourself a bottle of carb blocker. It's on my site. Go get a carb blocker. I probably need to put just singularly there so you don't have to search for it. Be intentional. Look forward to having that moment. Enjoy the moment, move on. Get right back on track. Well, like Patty said, she just smiled. She knew she was going to go right back on track. She enjoyed, she smiled, and no stress, no shame. do you understand this can be your life? It doesn't have to be whatever it used to be. So when we talk about physical stress all the time, but emotional stress is invisible. We talk about physical stress all the time, but emotional stress is invisible insulin. Okay. So it's happening even when you look calm. All right. So what does this do to your hormones? Keeps cortisol high, slows down your thyroid. You have low energy. You have weight gain, raises your insulin, shuts off your fat burning, because that's what happens. Insulin high, fat burning shut off, depletes your serotonin, poor sleep, more cravings, messes with estrogen, progesterone, mood swings, hot flashes, belly fat. So the reason you can't out eat stress isn't discipline, it's biology. The brain literally won't let go of fat when it thinks that you are unsafe. So here are just some tips, and surely these will probably help you also, right? And maybe you have to step away and go and do these on your own. Be mindful. Maybe you go for a walk. You do things so that you can do a few of these things for yourself. Slow breathing before meals. Maybe you have to go to the bathroom and do some slow breathing. Maybe you eat sitting down and not on the go. I'm preaching to myself on all of these. Gratitude, prayer. I'm convinced that obnoxious gratitude will change your life. Obnoxious gratitude for everybody in your life that does that plays a part in your function, or in your ability. Like for me in business, I'm obnoxiously grateful for people around me and who are a part of my life in that arena. Like having major gratitude, prayer. Tell your nervous system, we're okay. We got this. Tell your nervous system that, okay? So you have to support your gut-brain connection. That's the whole gut primer I talk to you guys about every day. And probiotic. Calm your stress and chemistry naturally. This is where I talk to you guys about magnesium before bed. I mean, I love my magnesium so much. Support your liver so that it can detoxify at night and dump excess cortisol. You got to do these things. Protein, even if you know that you're going to do something that steps off plan, if you're going to do that, if it's the pecan pie that is just whatever, they make a pecan bar, don't do it on an empty stomach. It's just like drinking. Don't drink on an empty stomach. I mean, eat protein first. Eat tons of ham and turkey first and then do something. You know what I mean? Like give your body a chance to slow it down. And then go for a walk when you're done eating. Go for a walk. And that'll actually help bring down your insulin. And replace the mindset of, I have to fix my body. I got to figure this out with, I'm helping my body feel safe. I'm just helping my body feel safe. And I'm telling you, like that Self-Sabotage No More book it'll make sense to you. If any of this is resonating with you, that will make sense to you because you are wired to stay safe. This is why it's hard for us to get out of our comfort zone. This is why it's hard for us to do something different out of routine. This is why it could be, like it freaks us out to speak in public, or it freaks us out to whatever it is. It doesn't have to be jumping on a bungee cord because, that is technically not safe. That's a whole different level of having to get your brain to line up, right? But that's what that means. So once your brain feels safe, your body stops clinging to fat and insulin finally comes down. And you guys, there are 2 reasons why you can't burn fat. Your insulin is high, your liver is sluggish. It's resonating with you. Yep. I'm telling you, I had to learn these things. And once I did, and it made sense, oh man, that shame just fell off. Because there's no shame in just trying to understand how your body functions. All of a sudden, it wasn't about me being like totally lame. It was about getting my body to line up. And then that made sense to me. I'm like, well, I can do that. I can get my body to line up. I can do that. Elaine says, please put the link. I will have to do, Lane, I will do that. When I get off, you're on Facebook. I will get those 2 books. I'll put them in the comments because I can over there. I'll put them in the comments, but I'll put them on my thing. So this is what I'll do today when I get done. I will put self-sabotage no more and what to say when you talk to yourself. And I will put them. So when you go to my site, and we talk about this every day usually, it's my first and last name.com, Kirsten Liebelt, KIRSTEN LIEBELT.com. It's, oh shoot, see, it didn't show up on here. I'm going to put it right here for you guys, right there. So on YouTube and Facebook, it's right there for you. Okay, and when you go there, it looks like this. That's my face. You can see my face. I have to be careful. TikTok doesn't like it when I show you things like this. So here's my face. And right here, I'm going to tell you right now about the total body reset, which is right here. But I will put those books right in here somewhere. I'll put my Amazon. I'll move my Amazon link up is what I'll do. I have an Amazon link right down here. I'll move it up for you today. And I'll have it right under here, right under the total body reset somewhere. And I'll add those 2 books to that list for you. Okay. So they'll be there for you, but I can also put them in the, comments on FB. So Kathy, good to see you. You're very late. That's okay. You can watch the replay. You appreciate all these ideas to be calm and safe. Thank you, Coach Kirsten. You do understand better. Joan, you're amazing. You are amazing. Elaine says she needs to get it. Okay, so that's awesome. All right, so remember when we started and I talked about how sometimes you just need to literally push your body right over the edge. You just have to go boom and push it over the edge. And I am 150% convinced that that is exactly why I ended up getting the results that I got, because I had to fix my gut. I was such a sugar addict, you guys. I had anxiety. I was hormones upside down. I was in the throes of menopause because I went and had shoulder surgery. I had rotator cuff surgery, and I came out of that surgery and I never had a cycle again. So I was thrown into the menopause pit, so to speak, like overnight. So I had all of these things happening inside of my body, and I needed help regulating and I needed help functioning. And so that's why, Julia, good to see you. You're good. Watch the replay. You're good. So that's why I had to do something to fix what was going on inside of me. So the 3 things that I talk to you guys all about are your gut, your liver, and your insulin. If you will get your insulin down, you can burn fat again. If you can get your liver to function at a higher level, you can burn fat again, because you can't do it if either of these are not addressed. And your gut is literally everything. It's your brain connection. It's your serotonin. It's your nutrient absorption. It's helping you digest when you don't have a gallbladder. It's helping you digest when you do have a gallbladder, but everything is sluggish and slow. And it's kind of like your impacted waste isn't moving and your toxins are sitting there, and your GLP-1 is made in your gut. And all of these pieces, they all connect. All of them connect. So I always talk about the total body reset. I'll show you that right now. How do you know how much carb blocker to take, Luana? It says to take 1 to 3, and it will block up to 500 calories of sugar from hitting your bloodstream when you do it. So if you're going to have, like, let's say a plate of something like a lasagna, pasta, take 3. Take 3. If you're going to have like a piece of toast, maybe you only need 1. You know what I mean? Like, gauge your own, but you're not going to make a mistake either way. I mean, if you just take 3, you're good. Like, you covered what you are allowed to do, and it's perfect. But, if you're having a bite of something, you don't need to take 3, if you're having a bite of somebody's muffin or something or whatever. Not that muffin would be exciting for most people, but anyway. Okay. So when I started with the trio. This is good. This is a good place to start. There is a good, better, best, right? So I started with the trio. These are the 3 steps that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And I'm sorry, I can't really show you. I get in trouble. And so this is where I started, you guys. I had no idea why these were helping me, but now I completely understand and I can teach it. Insulin and sugars, liver, metabolism. Okay. And when you're looking at my site, it's the top button. Remember my face? It's that first button right there. That is the trio. Okay. And I did this, fully supported me in losing my 3 sizes in my 50s because it was helping my liver and my insulin. But then other things were, whoopsie, totally dropped that. I'm so glad my cap was on. Then they released a gut primer and a fat burner. And I have now added those in. And you guys take this advice, and your results are so much faster and so much further than mine were. And so this is what's very exciting, because now what you're doing is you're helping your visceral fat and your gut and your microbiome. So yeah, Sue, not oatmeal. I mean, I don't be eating oatmeal. Nope. That's super sugar spiking. So no, I teach grain-free, sugar-free, legume-free. So the primer, this is the 4th piece of the 6 pieces. This is number 4, green powder, 6 blends. Very comprehensive gut primer, not just a greens product. Helps very, very much with constipation, indigestion. You just put it in a little bit of water, drink it like a wellness shot. I don't sip it. It's very green tea like, it's whatever. But everything from organic farms, if you sit down and you read all of the different blends that are in there, it's really startling. I mean, we're talking about everything from, well, I don't even want to go down that whole road. But like when I was sitting down with somebody in person on Saturday, one of my new friends that was a stranger before Saturday, she was like, oh man, it has beetroot powder. That's totally awesome. I had just been looking into that. Okay. Slippery elm bark. Okay. I happen to know that's super, super good for blah, blah, blah. Like she knew her stuff. Okay. So that's what the gut primer is. Probiotic. You have to have a probiotic. You want them to be alive. Yogurt and kefir are not enough. These are 5 live strains. I just put it right on my tongue like this. Not with coffee. That's number 5. And then the 6th piece is the fat burner. And you guys, this is what is getting the actual results of visceral fat scans showing the decrease in visceral fat. Remember, visceral fat is what insulin resistance is creating when it lays down fat in and around your organs and intestines. This is the fat you do not want. It emits hormones. It emits inflammation. You're wondering why you feel the way you do. You're wondering why you have liver enzymes that are up. You're wondering why you have a fatty liver diagnosis. You're all sorts of things. And you're like, I didn't even know that I could do anything about it. Well, I never come on and make any claims, but I will tell you that, like Megda, her fatty liver MRI went from bad to mild. And she's been on. Angie, tell me what you want information on, okay? Are you talking about the whole total body reset? Just let me know. These are just fallen. She's been on the total body reset for a year. Okay. So she did it for a year and she's still on it. And her fatty liver went from bad to mild. Her A1C came down. She lost 14 inches on her trunk. Trying to remember how many pounds she lost. I don't want to say because I might have it wrong. But my point being that you can turn your ship around, and it's gut, liver, and insulin. It's very targeted. It's a very root cause conversation. And you can see it right on remember my face? Here's the trio. There's a couple other options in between of the 6 products, but then the total body reset is right there. I'll put my Amazon thing up there so you can get the books, but there are also free resources right here. There's like a free protein blueprint. There's a free recipe for the bread, the egg white bread, free recipe for the sugar-free chocolate pudding, and how to contact me. You can contact me. You can reach out to me and you can say, hey, I don't know do I need the trio or the total body? Like, I don't know which one I need. Perfect. Let's see what you need to start with, what you're trying to accomplish. Let's customize. Maybe you're like, well, I kind of like the idea of the trio, but then I heard you talking about magnesium. Okay, fine. I'll customize a cart for you with the trio and the magnesium. Like, I can do that for you. I can customize things for you. And we can have that conversation, because if you do not have your own permission, if you have not given yourself permission for the journey, you will not have consistency. This has to be your journey. Has to be customized for you, not me telling you anything. But if you need testimonies, if you need stories, like, let's just sit down and chat about that for a minute, right? Terry, 50 pounds gone, 62 years old, tucking in her blouse, weighs the less she's done in 30 years. Claudette, 74, lost 45 pounds in 5 months last year. 74. This is not about age. This is about hormones and cells. It's about cellular conversation in your body. So liver, gut, insulin, liver, gut, insulin. That's what we do here. Okay. So Angie, I will get you information, whatever you're looking for. And every Monday through Friday, we do this. We go live at 11 and we talk about insulin resistance, and I can help you push your body over that edge to get it to begin to produce results for you. And then in the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, and you do have to give your email to get in, we do a free 5-day challenge, and that's where I get to teach you guys food. Because as an Italian, that was a really big deal for me. I thought I would never trade out my ingredients. So when you say oatmeal, no. I teach grain-free, sugar-free, legume-free, because if you will stop spiking your sugars and calling on insulin all day long, you will actually burn fat. You will actually begin to move forward. No gimmicks, no jazz hands, no marketing. I don't put a bow on this. Here's a pretty bow, and we're going to create. No, these are things that I sourced for me, and then I pass them on to you. I am, however, I should have had it by me. I'll try to remember tomorrow. I am, however, doing for new customers that are doing the Total Body Reset. I'm sending you out a little package, a thank you package this month. I have a dry brush, and the dry brush actually is, it actually has little like knobs on it. I should go get it. Should I go get it? I don't know. Hold on. I'll go get it. Just hold on. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I want to show you. Okay. I'm so excited about this because I feel like I want you guys to have like a holistic thought process. So anyway, the dry brushes that I picked up, these are the softer bristles. Okay, so I'm going to literally send this to you for people who are new customers with the Total Body Reset. Softer bristles, and then they have these little like knobs on them that are soft. And when you dry brush, what you're doing is you are helping your lymphatic system. You dry up your arms, up your legs towards your heart, and you're helping your lymphatic system to move, because detoxing is of the utmost importance. But then I also want to, these are just 2 things that will be in the packet. This is a mineral soak, so a magnesium soak. And this one is, it's sea salt, Epsom salt, and I'm trying to think, lavender chamomile. So anyway, so I wanted to do packages for people who want to do the Total Body Reset and get started. And one of the big reasons why is because they have right now a way where you can get paid back for your wellness journey. And I just don't know how else you're going to be able to, nobody else is going to do that for you. So when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row on a regular basis during the entire year, the 3rd month they erase $75. That's normal. You guys are already cashing in on that over and over and over again. This is why it's so beneficial to have consistency on your mind, to have long-term mentality on your mind, to have, I'm going to change my ways over the next 18 to 24 months on your mind. You keep going, and every 3 months you get to cash in. However, what they're doing right now is in January, they're adding an extra $50 off. So for somebody who starts right now this month with the Total Body Reset, let's say, and you get your little goodie package from me, make sure you're a registered customer. If you check out as a guest, it doesn't happen, doesn't process it as a customer campaign person. But then by the time you hit January, you do November, December, January, you're getting $125 off. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's not just a little $10 coffee card. It's not even we went to a restaurant. It's called Tavern. Went there the other day, my husband and I, and the guy said, would you like to purchase any gift cards for Christmas? And when you do, you purchase $100 worth of gift cards, we'll give you a $25 gift card for free. And I thought, well, obviously they do that regularly. And I thought, oh, okay, whatever. We weren't looking for that, but 25 off. That's normal. That's pretty exciting all by itself, right? Well, what if you got 125 off of an order? Would you be more or less excited about your wellness journey? I'm just telling you, like, it's a really good deal. So anyway, what's nuts ground ups? Oh, ground up nuts, Sue, for what? Terry, you're new here. Excited to listen. Yay. Nice to meet you, Terry. Where are you from? So anyway, so those are, that's kind of like the whole, I love this conversation really fires me up because I lived inside of my head to really get myself results. And I want you guys to understand that this is way more than just signing up for anybody can download an app and start inputting information, whatever, and working hard to get results. But this is a whole body transformation, you guys. This is your own, you will be in a different place in a couple of years, and you'll be like Patty. And I shouldn't even say a couple of years. Patty's been doing it for 8 months. She's already adopted. And I remember when Patty texted me and she said, this is the longest time I have ever stuck to any kind of a life-changing journey like this. It's the longest time I've ever done it. And here she is just getting results and feeling really good. And she already was able to be like, so I had this moment that was intentional where we were celebrating my daughter who would have been 41 years old yesterday. We had a pizza party and now I'm right back on track. I just did it without shame. I mean, this is such a huge victory. I want you to understand this can be your world where you're understanding the biology behind everything so that you're like, oh yeah, okay, this isn't because I am the most undisciplined person on the face of the planet, or I'm such a sugar addict that must mean that then I'm not able to accomplish anything. You don't have to live like that. So if you need anything, let me know. If you want to look at my site, it's myfirstlastname.com, and I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And have the best day ever. It's super sunny in Minnesota, so go get you some sun if you've got some sun in your state going on right now. But all right, have such a good day, you guys. Bye.